Hello, my name is Aaron, and welcome back to the Retro Gaming Collective. Alright guys, so I have a bit of a hodgepodge here for you. This is a bunch of hunting videos that I've taken over the past several weeks at this point. Because last week's video you would have seen that I took a very special trip to up north in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to link that one down below if you missed it. But this one's kind of what I've done, just my general hunting over the last several weeks. And I'm pretty pleased with the haul that I got here. It's a lot. And now some of it has already been sold, but I'm going to try and show you some footage. I actually have a lot of footage this week. So I'm going to try and show you some of that stuff, show you what I picked up, show you what I sold before. And yeah, let's just dive in and see what we got. All right, guys, first things first, I want to show you a couple of things that I picked up off of eBay. Just two things. One is a Vita game and the other is just a Goodwill Xbox game. So first of all, I got Army Corps of Hell for the Vita. This is sealed, and I paid $17.95 for this off of eBay. And it's actually like a $25 game, so this was like a super good deal. The guy that I've been buying from has some really cool sealed games. Most of his stuff is sealed. I think all of it is actually. And I've actually picked up a couple of things from him. Nothing crazy, but it's cool because it gets to fill in some of the gaps in my collection. So I was actually really excited to pick this one up. Vita games are just super hard to come by. But thankfully, this is not the first, or not the only Vita game that's going to be in this video. Picked up some other cool stuff. And then, of course, I also picked this up from Goodwill, Colorado on eBay for $5, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The only thing that's weird about it is it's a Platinum Hits, but it's got a green case. However, it is completely complete, and it is in great shape, works great. So this is already up on eBay. If you're interested, let me know. Now, this video is going to be recorded probably about a week and a half before it releases, so I can't guarantee that any of this stuff is still going to be for sale, because you never know. But if you see anything you like, let me know and we can work out a deal. I always like to work out deals with you guys. But yeah, let's actually dive into what we found out hunting. All right, guys, so I got a couple of different stops at GameStop. I filmed very little because one GameStop looks like all the others. But I picked up some really, really cool things. First of all, I picked up this copy of Kirby's Dream Collection for the Wii. It's the special edition, just missing, I think there's like a slip cover. I paid $40 for this, but this is upwards of like a $70 game, something like that. So I was really excited to get to grab this. You guys know that I love Kirby. And being the week that it was just kind of fitting because the day after I found that game, I ended up going in and picking up my copy of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I have been loving this game. Pretty close to beating it. I don't know about you guys, but this is like super, super cool. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's just very different, but also still very much the same. Just feels like Nintendo, and I love it. Highly recommend it. Now, to make it even cooler, I have been playing that on my brand new Nintendo Switch OLED. This thing is sick, man. I loved my old Switch. I really did. But the screen on this thing, the battery life on this thing blows it away, man. It's so, so cool. But yeah, so I ended up getting some awards at work, and I was able to transfer it into GameStop gift card. So I ended up getting this guy for very, very little out of pocket. Super, super cool. But yeah, that's all I found at GameStop. Let me show you what else I found. Next, guys, I hit my local pawn shop. I actually hit this place a couple of different times, and I found something cool pretty much every time. The footage that you're seeing now, you're seeing a Wii Sports Resort, and a Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, I also ended up, when I went this time, found a ton of really cool Pokemon, like little Burger King toys and stuff like that, like the cards from Pokemon 2000, some little Game Boys, and all in all, for everything that you're looking at, I ended up paying $50 for all of it. But what was really cool about it is that Wii Sports was sealed. It was sealed. I ended up paying $5 for that specifically, and I sold it for around $50 plus shipping. And then the other Wii Sports I ended up selling, I think, for about $25 or something like that. So everything ended up being free, and I was able to put all of that Pokemon stuff into the game room by my Switch stuff, and I think it looks super cool. I love the way that stuff looks. I tried to I've readjusted my game room a little bit so that each shelf kind of covers a specific genre or character. So for example, my Wii U section, I have all my Legend of Zelda stuff, and then behind me here, I don't know if you can see it, but up here I got all my Power Rangers stuff, flashlights, figures, things like that. So I just felt like that was really cool. So getting those Pokemon things and being able to add them to the Switch section, super cool. So in that, I was able to get this copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2, and this is going right into the collection, so I do get to keep this, which is awesome. That's always the goal, make a little bit of money, add stuff to the collection. So I was able to do that. Now, I ended up going back and finding some more crazy stuff there. First of all, I found this Super Nintendo sitting in their glass container. It had no cords or anything like that, but they were asking 20 bucks for it. So I ended up picking it up, and it's great. There's it still needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's some dirt on here, but I tested it. It works great. I ended up ordering these off of Amazon for 13 bucks. It's a the power cable and then the AV cable. So all in all, for this complete Super Nintendo, I'm in about $33. And I'm going to be able to flip this and definitely make some cash off of it. Again, the cool thing is there's no yellowing. That's a very common thing. I mean, there's a small amount, but it's nothing crazy. To the eye, you just can't see it. And I feel like if I get this cleaned up, you won't even notice. And along with that, I got this copy of Super Mario Galaxy to flip. I do already have this one, so I'll flip this. And I'll make some profit off of this. Again, that is always the goal. Get some profit so that you can get what you actually want in the collection. I already have one of these, so it's going out the door, but I couldn't resist 20 bucks. On to the next. Typically when I go to Goodwill, especially the one that's close to me, all I'm finding is a bunch of Connect Adventures. They're always there. That's just about it. This time I actually went with my little brother. He is getting into arcade 1-up machines. So we were just looking for some things for his little arcade room that he has in the basement of his house. And ultimately I found some cool stuff. I ended up picking up only Just Dance 4 for $4. The rest it wasn't worth it for me to pick up for $4. But I ultimately ended up using that Just Dance 4 and I flipped it at GameStop for $8.80. And then I applied it right towards, actually it ended up being plus 30%. So probably closer to 10 bucks, something like that. And I applied it towards my Kirby game. So I got that even cheaper, which was super cool. Right. And then I ended up going back a second time and I found some crazy stuff, man. So first of all, the first thing that I ended up picking up was this Rayman Arena for PlayStation 2. And I opened it up and strangely enough, it actually had this copy of Mortal Kombat Trilogy in it for the PS1, which is even better because Rayman Arena is maybe a $10 game, but this disc goes for $20. So really cool. I ended up paying $3 a piece for these two games. So $3 on this and then $3 on this. Again, I never find GameCube games out in the wild, but not only did I find a cool one, but I found one with 2 discs. They were both there and it's in great shape. And that is Resident Evil. This is complete with both discs. I paid $3 for this. You just don't see this kind of stuff often anymore. There were years, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even more, where you just found this stuff all the time. I found a Sega CD with Road Rash in it. With the Gen 1 Genesis hooked up. I found Sega Saturn games, tons of things in Goodwill, and you just don't anymore. So this kind of gave me a little bit of hope that some of the stuff may be coming back, especially as we enter spring cleaning season, right? It's super, super cool to be able to pick that up. But that's actually all that I found at the Goodwill this time. Let's move on, see what else we found. If you guys have watched my other videos, you will know that I love this store called Second and Charles. I always end up finding something interesting there. At this time that I went, the last few have been pretty not so great. The store's just been dirty and out of order. This time that was not the case. There were new games, they were put out. So the first time that I went, I ended up finding a whole bunch of stuff because I had some trades from my last video. Some of the $1.50 games that I bought last week, the things that I didn't need or I couldn't put back into my collection. I ended up just taking them in, trading them in there, and applying them towards these things. So I ended up getting some Wii U games, some Wii games, and a really cool N64 game that I didn't have. So I ended up picking up a Wii Sports Resort, as well as a Super Mario Sluggers. Both of those have sold and ultimately paid for the rest of what I picked up. So the stuff that I'm going to show you now, I ended up getting to keep for free. First of all, I got this copy of Pokemon Snap for the N64. This game's super nostalgic. I used to play this a lot as a kid, but it was my brother's copy, so he has his. So I get to add this to the collection, which is super, super cool. I paid $14.95 for this, which is not a bad deal at all. The issue, I think, with this one is that it's got something going on right here in the label, but you can't really notice it unless you're really looking for it, so I'm not concerned about it. I really just want to be able to play the game, and that one works. Makes me happy. And then ultimately I picked up this copy of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Sochi 2014. I believe this one is also complete. It is complete, and I paid $17.95 for this. This gets to be added to the collection absolutely free. And then finally, we got this for $10.95, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed for the Wii U, neither of which I had. So super, super cool to get to add those to the collection. I'm really, really happy about that. Now, I ended up going back a second time a few days later, and I found an additional Wii U game that I already have, but I'm going to be able to flip it. This was about 21, 22 bucks, something like that, but it's a copy of Super Luigi Brothers, Luigi U, with the green case, and it is complete in here. It's awesome. I'm really, really pleased to get to flip this, find a good deal on this, because this one I feel like is going to continue to rise. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that I picked up at 2nd and Charles. Let me show you this final stop that I had. This actually was today, just a few hours ago. So next, I stopped at a store called Born to Game. This is one that's down in Middletown. It's right by our church, maybe about 45 minutes away or so, something like that. I don't get to go in here as often as I would like, just because it's a little bit further away. But every time I do go, I end up finding cool stuff. The manager that I normally talk to, he was not there today, so I didn't get to haggle. He's the only one that has the authority to like change the prices. But I ended up finding a few things, and I paid $100 even for what you're about to see. And it doesn't look like much because this is it. This is all it is. But let's dive in. Let me show you. I got a couple of Game Boy Advance games. I got Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu, and this was $3. This one goes for about $9, so I may end up just keeping this one. I thought for $3 it was cool to add a Dragon Ball Z game to the collection, if nothing else. Next, I ended up paying $26 for Sema the Enemy, and this one goes for in the 40 to 50 range, depending on the day. So I will almost double my money on that. Then we got a copy of Shining Soul for the Game Boy Advance. I paid $26 for this as well. This also goes in the 65-70 range, so I will definitely make some money on this one as well. Super pleased about those. I had some other things that were over there, like I think I had Maximum Carnage for the Genesis. It was under 20 bucks, and I was going to be able to flip that if I could get a deal on the rest of this stuff. But whatever, it is what it is. And then I picked up this copy. I don't have my glasses, so I'm going to squint here. Danganronpa 2 for the PS Vita. I paid $18 for this. This is going to go in the 30 to 40 range. So really good deal on that. And then ultimately, the final thing was Gravity Rush. I've sold this actually a couple of times. I paid $27 for this. So I will end up making money on this stuff, which is cool. And that'll just help me to add more things to my collection, which is always the goal. So that's everything that I got this past couple of weeks. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, checking it out. I don't know how much I'm going to be posting over the next few weeks, because if you have been watching my channel, you know that my wife and I are having a baby. We may even have had it at this point. Like, it may already be done. She is 4 weeks away from her due date as of today when I'm filming this, so we'll be even closer. So I will keep you guys updated and share with you as things progress, and when we bring our little girl home. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please subscribe, like, comment if you want. You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at The Retro Gaming Collective. I'm also at The Retro Gaming Collective on eBay. If you're interested in anything that you've seen in this video or anything else that I might have for sale, let me know. I always like to work deals with my subscribers. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And until next time, happy hunting.